continue. To feature a segment on your podcast devoted to the deplorable behavior of women is intolerable. How is that any different than someone spending 20 minutes a week on a different podcast featuring the deplorable behavior of black people? Why do they always go to black people? That's just like calling me the N-word. This is no different than slavery. That's people in other groups always do that. Always do that, all right? Give me a goddamn break. All right? That she goes, women are, I mean, how is that different? How is what I'm doing any different by featuring a segment of women who are doing something absolutely reprehensible to men? How is that any different than a show that focuses on men doing anything reprehensible to women? When they show wife beaters, I don't look at that like, oh my God, they're saying I'm doing it too. I think, you know something? I really think you're being really selfish here. And the fact that you could sit here and listen to my podcast for this long as I've gone off on fat people. I mean, Jesus Christ, you want to talk about hate speech? How much shit have I talked about Peyton Manning, despite the fact I can't even throw a football? You know? If he sent me an email, I would understand. And I bet it wouldn't even be as crazy as this. She says women are treated like second-class citizens all over the world. When did I ever say they weren't? And even still in this country. Yet you have no problem inciting further hate and disgust towards your fellow human beings on this earth. How am I inciting hate? When shows show wife beaters, is that inciting hatred towards men? If you look at those shows and that makes you hate all men, then you're a moron. So basically what you're saying is that I'm a moron and that all my listeners are morons. That if I call a woman who cheats on her husband, has a baby with another guy, and makes her husband pay for that, if I call her a cunt, that means I'm calling all women cunts? You know, is that what you're saying? Are you saying we're all that stupid? She said, right now there are men, and that is written in capital letters, M-E-N, men in this country still, capital S-T-I-L-L, discussing whether or not women should have the right to contraception and abortions. Yeah, I understand that. And those people freak me out. Those people freak me out, and I am a guy. And I've never said that a woman shouldn't have a right to that. So I don't know what you're talking about. This has nothing to do. I'm talking about these fucking whores that cheat on their husbands. Ma'am, you know what I love about all this? How come you don't address what I talked about? How come I can't hear? What do you think about a woman who would do something like that? I saw a stat the other day that said 13% of kids in this country are not with their biological father. Meaning not just like, you know, that their wife got like divorced and then remarried. They mean like there's a guy either knows or doesn't know. Like the woman had a kid with somebody else while they were married. Like 13% of kids. I mean, that means 80% of women are on the up and up. All right? God bless them. They're angels. But that 13% needs to be taken to task. I mean, I mean, how many guys are beating women? I would guess it'd probably be right around that same, you know, maybe a little higher. I have no idea. Let's say it's 20, let's say 20% of guys beat their women. Should they not be called out and be called cowardly pieces of shit? You know? And if you call them cowardly pieces of shit, would I have a right to sit there and look at that and be like, well, that's now you're inciting further hate and disgust toward all men? You're being really selfish here, man, because I go off on everybody. This podcast is over the top, and it's crazy. I call guys cunts on this podcast, and you're being really selfish right now. And now, you make this big, long speech, and then you're going to take your ball and go home. Look at this. Look at all she's bringing up here. Women still earn only 70 cents for every dollar a man earns. I think you guys should make the same amount, but I also don't think that number is accurate, $77. 77 cents for every dollar that a man earns. Because if you include divorce settlements, you get to keep your 77 cents plus his 50%, his 50 cents. So then he's down to 50, and then you're up to $1.37. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Go fuck yourself, you oversensitive jackass. Good Lord. Go buy a bigger bra. I don't know what your fucking problem is. I hope that bugged you, too, that I said that. That was deliberately supposed to be offensive, all right? So go fucking write a letter to fucking cunthair.com because I don't give a shit, all right? In short, we are still not equal to our male